multiple languages, and the ability to automatically remove silences. And that's thanks to the Davinci Resolve 18.5 beta number 3, which has just been released and is available to download right now. If you're already on the beta, next time you open Resolve, it should pop up asking if you want to upgrade. Or you can click on Davinci Resolve top left and then check for updates. If you've not yet jumped on board with the beta, but you want to hop onto this version number 3, you can do so by simply downloading it directly from the Davinci Resolve support website, which I've linked down below. Now just remember, there are 2 versions of the beta. There's the free version and the studio version, so make sure you download the correct one. Now, in this video, we are going to be talking specifically about the studio version, the paid for version, because these updates are, of course, relating to transcriptions and subtitles, which are only available within the studio version. So let's talk about it. And we're going to start off with the big one, something that people have been pestering me about, and rightly so, since the release of the beta, multiple languages. Previously, you could only run transcriptions and subtitles for English. But now I'm happy to announce that Blackmagic have added 14 languages in total. So we have Chinese, Danish, Dutch, English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Norwegian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and Swedish. And there's an auto category which will listen to it, figure out which language you're using, and then give you the correct subtitles. So this chap here is Marco Schreiber. He's a German-speaking Davinci Resolve YouTuber. So if you speak German and you want to see some Davinci Resolve goodness in German, definitely go and check him out. I've stolen one of his videos from YouTube so we can test this out. I've got his video on the timeline. So to create the subtitles, we simply click on timeline and come down to create subtitles from audio, the same way we did previously. But now there is a language drop-down. It defaults to auto, but if we give that a click, we can see all of our languages within here. So I'm going to leave this on auto. I'll let it figure the rest out. While we're here, they have added a couple of additional features. We now have a lines drop down, so we can configure whether we want single line subtitles or double line subtitles. And they've also added the ability to add gaps between subtitles, so we can have 0 gaps between them or anything up to 10 frames. I'm going to leave that as 0 and then simply hit create. And if we have a look, ta-da, we now have German subtitles for our video. Now, I can't read German, so I don't know how accurate they are, but I'm hoping they're pretty good. Now, I have tested this to see if it will actually translate languages for you. So if I run through a German video and ask for English, will it give me English subtitles? It will generate. And initially I thought this is doing okay. But then we got to about here, and I don't think he's talking about Bigfoot, and then it sort of gets worse from there. So yeah, I don't think it's designed to do translations just yet. But the fact that we now have 14 languages is awesome. Of course, not everyone is English speaking, so they've covered a bunch of languages within there. Some of you may still not be happy, but I think they've covered an awful lot of bases with those languages, so winner. Now you can also do the same thing with the transcriptions. So you now have the ability to select the languages. It does sit in a different place, so let me show you that. So for transcriptions, you need to open up your project settings, the little cog in the bottom right-hand corner, and then from the menu on the left, subtitles and transcription, transcription setup, language. You have the same 14 languages. You can leave it as auto, or you can simply select the language which you use. So that's the 14 new languages covered. Big thumbs up, absolutely awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Now that's about the updates for the subtitles. There isn't much more to add. They haven't added any additional jazzy way to edit them before anyone asks in the comments below. So what's next? Well, the big one is this ability to remove silences when using the transcription feature. Now, weirdly, Blackmagic haven't included this as a headline feature. It's buried in the notes, and I stumbled across it by accident. So it's definitely auto. So it's definitely, oh, that's really good. Ooh. They've also added the ability to edit the transcriptions and manually delete some stuff yourself. So basically, these transcriptions now can be used to fully edit the video without having to pop things on the timeline. You can just delete bits from the script, dump it all on the timeline, and then you're good to go. So let me show you how that works as well. So I'm going to find my main clip within my media pool, and we're going to right click and then go to audio transcription. They've also added this, which is really handy. You now have the ability to clear the transcription from this menu, which you couldn't do previously. And here we go. We have our transcription. Now, for some reason at the start of this video, I started singing, so let's just have a listen to that. Be like a jamming too. Don't really remember why I sang that, but there you go. So the first thing you'll notice if you've used these transcriptions before is the formatting. It's much neater. It's not just a big load of text. We've got actual paragraphs, and then we have these little markers in between. So we've got some brackets with 3 little dots. These indicate gaps. Now you can manually delete them if you want to. So we can highlight this little section here, right click, and now we get this menu pop up. We have an edit. So if there's a typo and you just want to amend it for when you export the script, you can do. There is an option to delete. There's an undelete, and then there is a copy. So obviously we don't want all this top section. I can just highlight all of this. I can right click and delete, or simply hit delete on my keyboard, and it'll put a line through. That means this section won't be included when we add this to our timeline. So how do you delete the gaps in one big go? Really simple. You come up to the top right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots, and then you simply remove silent portions, and it will automatically strike through all of these gaps, as you can see here. Then all I need to do, I'm going to hit a Control-A to select everything, and then simply use this icon to append, to drop it all on my timeline. And then if we just close the transcription, you can see this video has been cut up. So all of the big silences, all of the big gaps have been removed, and any deleted sections have been deleted. So at the beginning, it started off with me singing, obviously. Fit to fill. And now it doesn't. Now, if I'm totally honest, it's not 100% perfect. It leaves a bit too much silence for my liking. I'd love to see a bit more control so we could actually adjust that. But for a first iteration, again, awesome, really happy, not going to complain. This is a brilliant feature. But let me show you what I mean when I say it leaves a bit too much of a gap, or not enough of a gap. Too much of a gap? No, it leaves too much. No. What I mean is this. So in the second clip, it leaves about a second or two of sort of silence, of gap before I start speaking again. When you listen to it, it's just a bit too much. It sounds pretty natural, but for a YouTube style video, I'd cut that out generally. So I'd like to just tweak that, but I am nitpicking, I'll be honest. It's a really great feature. It's awesome that they've included it, and this is just going to keep getting better and better. As I've mentioned before, the subtitles, the transcriptions for me have been really, really accurate. So as long as they keep getting better, winner. What else would you like to see? If you still think there's stuff missing, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, folks. See you later.